It's time for the X and Y Show with your host, Mr. Roosevelt. He talks about man topics, lady topics, and relationships. He talks about love, sex, and infidelities. He even gives good tips. There is no other show that compares to the X and Y Show.
Oh yeah. Sit back, take your clothes off, and relax. It's time for the X and Y Show, where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. The only place on the planet that tackles the topics that everyone wants to talk about, but no one is brave enough to address. Nothing escapes X and Y, baby. Now, here's your host, Roosevelt Colbert.
And greetings, and greetings. Welcome to another segment of the X and Y Show. And I'm your host, Roosevelt. And I'm so glad to be back in your living room or in your bedroom for your listening pleasure. And after you listen to me, I want you to get you some pleasure. You know, hopefully you're naked right now, drinking some wine or some whiskey, tequila, whatever you do. And after me, you'll be all ready to get things started. But don't start until after this show. Oh, it's finally getting a little cold in Miami here. Funny how winter is almost over and now it gets cold. It's crazy shit. But I'll take it. You know, I love the cold weather. And, getting a little cold snap for a few days. And then next week, I think we got a cold front coming through. So, hey, it's 85 degrees on Thanksgiving Day and 92 on Christmas Day. But here we are going into March, damn near April, and it's damn near 50. Crazy shit. But anyway, I'll take it. Did some visiting last week. Visited another great facility. They have a pool and a big size screen, like a movie theater type rec area for people to watch a movie, television on the big screen. It's really cool. They have two pools. They have a sauna. They have a workout room. They have a large facility for walking and exercising and stuff like that. And a lot of activities. A lot of people come in from the outside. And it was this senior citizen living facility in Miami. For those of you who know, I'm looking for a good senior citizen facility for myself. 35, 40 years from now, so I can move in. And it has to be a good place. Because I don't want to just move anywhere. It has to be a good place. So I can meet a lot of nice old women like myself and do some good fucking, So it has to be a nice, clean place, places where I can live like a king. I want to be getting my toenails clipped. I'm, getting bathed every day, massages, and a lot of happy endings. So I'm looking forward to that. I know a lot of you think I'm bullshitting, but I ain't bullshitting. I'm serious. I'm already accepting my destiny. I'm going to be an old folks home. So if I'm going to be there, I might as well have fun. So I'm going out with a bang, literally. so I'm looking for a good one, and hopefully I can find one that let me, put a range to, like I want to put a deposit down in today's prices, allow me to hedge. And, 35, 40 years from now, I can move in at today's prices. I'm hoping to find one like that, but I don't know. That might not be possible. But anyway, I'm going to keep trying. Woo! Well, something that I always wanted to talk about, something we always talked about in my groups, finding the perfect wife. What is the perfect wife? Now, when I was younger, 20, 25 years ago, the perfect wife was just a woman who wanted to fuck all the time, basically. And that's the way it's supposed to be. You're young, you want to fuck. mine, she's smart. Fuck about gives a fuck about that. She can cook. Gives a fuck about that. She can communicate, huh? But damn about it. Can she fuck? That's all. Do she want to fuck? Can she suck a dick? That's all we cared about. That's all young men are supposed to care about. But, as I've become more mature and more wise, I realized that sex isn't everything. Damn, did I just say that? But it's not everything. It's not the most important thing. And I know a lot of you have already found out the hard way. A lot of you got married for the wrong reasons. You got married because the sex was good. He had good dick. She had some good pussy. You got married and realized that you're not compatible. Well, it's too late then. Now you got to get a divorce. It's going to get messy. Or some of you stayed married just for the good sex and be miserable for the rest of your lives, which is a miserable existence. So that's something I'm glad I realized before I said I do to someone. I realized that, it can't all be about the pussy. Damn, did I just say that? But, it has to be about other things as well that makes a woman complete. And I realize that now, and I wouldn't want a woman who could just fuck right now. It's not all about the good sex. When I was young, I remember a girlfriend I had. She's from Sweden. She was a nice girl. I was about 26, I guess, when I was dating her. She was about 25. And she was making hints that she wanted to get married, which was out of the question at that age for me. I was just thinking about pussy. She come over, you already get naked. What you got your clothes on for? And she told me, she said, you don't love me. All you want is pussy, pussy, pussy. And she was right. That's what I wanted. I was young. She was young, but she was more, I don't want to say mature, but she was in a different place in her life. She was ready to take that next step. She was ready to get married. I wasn't. That wasn't going to work. But, I mentioned that because, I didn't want to, she had some good pussy. Now, if I would have got caught up and say, I'm going to marry this girl, I think she's the one, it would have been based off of pussy. Because really, I didn't communicate with her much. We didn't communicate, deep communication. I'm not talking about just small talk. We didn't have deep communication at all. It was no, kind of compatibility on either of us. It was just sex. But she still felt that we should have gotten married. And I knew that was a mistake. But I didn't know because of the right reasons. I didn't know because of the sex was good, we shouldn't get married. I was just, I don't want to marry her because I want to get more pussy. That was my reason. But I'm it's the same result. We didn't get married, and I'm glad we didn't because it would have been disastrous. But unfortunately, a lot of people find out the hard way. A lot of people find out too late that you don't get married just for good sex. And I do believe that you can find the elite mate. And with that being said, let me just say tonight's title. Got to say that. Tonight's title, Does the Perfect Mate Really Exist? That's tonight's subject. Does the perfect mate really exist? And to answer that, I believe it does. I do. I believe the perfect mate really exists. But my perfect mate is not what someone else's perfect mate is, obviously. And, what I think is perfect might not be what you think is perfect, and vice versa. What you think is perfect, I might be saying, oh, damn, no, that wouldn't work for me. So I believe that you can find the perfect mate for yourself, but you just have to find that person. Now, I did a survey on Twitter, and I did it kind of wrong because I should have somehow asked the sex of the participants. But either way, you still get a general idea. But the question was on the survey, if you are married or are still looking, what would make your mate more great? And I put more communication. I put more supportive, more loving, and more sex. And this had surprising results. But then again, I should have segmented it, by the sex. I think that would have been a more closer picture, but oh well, I didn't. Next time. But anyway, the results were 24% wanted more communication. 12%, only 12% wanted more to be more supportive. And I thought that would have been, I would have thought that would have been number one. But the first one, 24% was more communication, 12% was more supportive, 24% was more loving, and 40% was more sex. Now, the more sex, that could be all men. Most of the men said that, and most of the women, I don't know. I wish I would have segmented it, but it is what it is. That's the general number, so you can get an idea. But basically, it's not just sex. It's communications, being more supportive, more loving, more sex. So 24% was more communication, 12% was more supportive, 24% was more loving, and 40% was more sex. Now, like I said, to each his own, everyone has their idea of a perfect mate. Now, like I said, 20 to 25 years ago, the perfect mate for me would have been somebody who just wanted to fuck all the time. When you get up, when you go to sleep, in the bathtub, in the kitchen, just somebody that just wanted to fuck all the time, all day. And it's pretty much still the same for me. But, I've added some things to that. It's not just about the sex. I don't want a woman right now, a perfect woman, and a perfect mate for me right now at this stage of my life would not be someone who can just fuck. It wouldn't be. That's important. It's very important, but it's not the most important. You have to, for me, it has to be a combination of things. And one of those combinations is, you have to be, you have to communicate. I want a woman that I can communicate with. I want someone who I can talk to about anything. I want someone who can talk to me about anything. I want someone who I can effectively communicate. That means I have to listen to her. I want someone who I effectively, do effective communication with. Someone who listens to me. Has to be good communication. That's what I want. That's one of the things that I want in a woman. We have to communicate. If we can't communicate, how are we going to express our feelings? How are we going to let the other person know what is bothering us? Why we're angry? Or, something that is, we need to address in the family. Something in our household we need to talk about. Money problems, health problems. There's all kind of stuff that you have to talk about as a couple. And if you're not communicating, then you're not a couple. If you're not talking to each other, then you are not a couple. You just fucking. Animals just fuck. Lions and tigers just fuck. Gorillas just fuck. Jellyfish fuck. So if you just fucking, then you're not a real couple. You have to have more things than just good fucking. So for me, it has to be a certain level of communication. We have to talk. We have to do some deep talking. We just can't be fucking. We have to talk sometimes. We have to see what each other needs and address those needs and make sure that the other one is satisfied and make sure those needs are met. We can't do that if we're not communicating. So for me, that's what a perfect mate would entail. Communication. Definitely good communication. The second thing, more supportive. You have to be supportive. No matter what you do, or what job you have, or what goal that you have, whether it's professional or whether it's in your church, you want to be the head deacon, or you want to be the music director, or one day you want to do a marathon, whatever you want to do. It's very nice to have someone that supports you, no matter what you want to do. No matter how crazy it sounds, no matter, how left field it is, no matter how bizarre it is, it's good to have someone in your corner that supports you, no matter what it is. Anyone that is going through that right now, anyone who is lucky and blessed enough right now to have a woman in your life that supports you, you are a lucky man. Anyone that has a man in your life that supports you on whatever you do, you're a lucky woman. Support is very important. Now, sometimes you need also someone who tells you like it is, someone to check you as well. No, baby, that's some crazy shit. Now, what you doing? You need that sometimes. Oh, what? You want to do what? Hold up now. What? We got to talk about this. So you need somebody to check your ass too, to put you in line. Because sometimes, people think about shit and do shit and, get crazy. You need somebody to reel you in. You need that sometimes. That's what being a couple is all about. But if you just fucking, then you won't have that support. She won't give a fuck what you doing. He won't give a fuck what you doing. If you're not, a real couple, you're not supporting one another. You got to have support. You got to have that connection with someone, And that connection also entails when that person got some crazy shit going on, whoa, you want to do what? No. We got to talk about this now. The hell wrong with you? You crazy? You got to have somebody to check your ass because, women and men sometimes come up with some crazy shit. You need somebody to reel you in. And a lot of times the other person is right because they're looking at it from the outside. And if you're a logical person, you're like, damn, she's right. Maybe I shouldn't do that crazy shit. Damn, what was I thinking? So you need that support. You need someone to check your ass as well. You need that. That's what a perfect mate entails to me as well. Support, communication, support, and someone to check your ass every once in a while when, you do some crazy shit. You got to have that. If you don't have that, then it's not, you're not a couple. You're not a couple. You're not a couple. So that is one, another thing that is important to me. Communication, support. You got to be supportive, a supporting person, very, that supports me, and someone who checks me, someone who reels me in when I'm doing some crazy shit, Now, another thing that is very important is more loving. You have to be more loving. And I think a lot of couples are missing that, For me personally, for a woman to be a perfect mate, she has to be loving. Honey, you want something to drink? You want a glass of water? How was your day? You okay? You want to talk? Just someone who rubs you at the end of the day. Who's that? Eric-benet has a song. I think it's called Brown Legs. Oh, shit. What is it? I think it's called Brown Legs. But anyway, I know a lot of you know what I'm talking about. Eric-benet, R&B singer, for those of you who don't know, look him up. He has a song, basically, it's called Pretty Brown Legs. Nice tune. But the video has it where it looks like he's been working for a construction site and he's been beat. The world has really beaten him. He's worked hard all day and he goes home to his lady and she's waiting for him, to make him feel good, and cook him dinner, and just massage him, and just take his clothes off, give him a bath, and give him some pussy. I mean, she just take care of him like, it's going to be okay. She's very loving to him, She's that way, and so he can go out the next day and tackle it all again. You need that loving, that good loving. You need it. That's very important for me. Now, it might not be important to you. Maybe it's not. But for me, that's very important. It has to be a loving woman. It has to be a compassionate woman to show me that she's in my corner. I'll make you feel better, baby. And I will do the same for her. I believe in reciprocation as well. You have to do what is, what you like, she like too. Or, if it's not the same thing you like, it's something else she like, then you have to do what she wants. You have to reciprocate. She's doing what satisfies you. You have to do what satisfies her. She likes to feel loved as well. She likes you to do things as well. Maybe you can get home one night and have her bath drawn. Give her a massage. Rub her down. Do shit for her. How was your day, baby? You doing okay? Everything all right? Give her a massage till she fall asleep in your arms. You have to be loving to her as well. She like that too. So you have to reciprocate as well. Don't be selfish. So that's another thing that is important to me. You have to be more loving. You have to reciprocate your love as well. What you're getting, you have to know that she wants that as well. She wants to feel good too. That's what being a couple is about. A real couple. Now the next thing, of course, now there's a lot of things. I mentioned a lot of stuff. I mentioned communication. I mentioned more support. I mentioned someone who checks you, when you're doing some crazy shit. I mentioned more loving and, reciprocation of love as well, doing things that she would like as well. You just can't be selfish, taking all the love. You have to return it as well to her. So I mentioned those are some of the most important things that is important to me in a perfect mate. There's other secondary stuff too. It has to be goal oriented. It has to be a good relation with a family. That's important as well. All of that comes into play. Now, just how much it comes into play, it depends on you. But all that comes into play as being a perfect mate. Now, before I move on to the last one, which is sex. Yes, it is sex. I'm not going to leave sex out. You didn't really think that, did you? Oh, my goodness. But, before I get on the last one, I will say that, hold on for a second here. Really, there is, being realistic, there is not a per se perfect mate, because nobody's perfect. I think that's what a lot of people get entangled in as well. They're looking for the absolute perfect guy. They're looking for the absolute perfect woman, a 10 physically, she's smart, he's smart, and he has goals. He has perfect eyes, and she has long hair. All that crazy shit that society deems as being perfect. It doesn't exist. It doesn't. That's a fairy tale. So I just wanted to clear that before I move to the last one. It's not, nobody's perfect. I think that's what a lot of people get tangled in as well. They have this fantasy that they want this, they want that, they want this, that, and nobody's totally perfect. Not even me. I have my faults as well. So you're not going to meet the absolute perfect mate because nobody's perfect. The idea is to meet the perfect mate for you. That's what your goal should be. The perfect mate for you, not the perfect mate, but the perfect mate for you. That's what's important. Now, the last thing, of course, sex. That is one that definitely makes a mate for me perfect. You gotta have sex, a lot of sex. I don't want to. I'm not gonna be in one of those marriages where we fuck once a month or every other month and all that crazy shit. And she got me on the clock and all that. No. She has to be a woman that appreciates and loves sex like I do. She has to be very innovative when it comes to sex and not just regular shit all the time. She has to be willing to do certain things to keep it exciting in the bedroom. And that can mean an array of things. Not crazy shit. I'm not in all that crazy shit, but I do. I'm a Scorpio, so that should speak for itself. And for those of you who don't know, let me stop. but yeah, she has. That's another thing that makes a perfect mate as well. Sex is important. A lot of people want to stay away from that subject. It's taboo. Like, no, don't want to talk about sex. No, sex is important. It's very important in the marriage. Very important. So, yes, for it to be a perfect mate for me, got to have a love for sex, got to be creative when we're having sex. Someone who appreciates and loves sex more, either the same or more than I do. Yeah, that's what a perfect mate is. So yeah, sex is important. Yes, it is. And it'll always be important to me. It's just not the only important thing, right? Because I've grown over the years, I've matured. It's not the only most important thing. It's one of the things that's important. And it's going to be that way until I get in the old folks' home. That's another story. So for me, yes. Those are just some of the primary things that make a perfect mate. Communication. More communication, more supportive. Someone who can check you when you need it. Pull you back when you're doing some dumb shit. Someone who's more loving. Someone who shows reciprocation of that love. And someone who appreciates sex. Yes. That's what a perfect mate is to me. And of course, someone with religious beliefs as well. Very important. It's a lot of things that goes into what you think is perfect that matches you. And that might be totally different from someone else. So the key is not finding a perfect mate, but finding the perfect mate for you. I stress that again. Listen, it's not in finding the perfect mate. It doesn't exist. Nobody's perfect. But the key is finding the perfect mate for you. You have to want more as a couple. You have to want more in a relationship or in eventually one day marriage. You have to want more than, just one thing. You have to have an array of things. You have to have more communication. You have to have more support. You have to more sex. More loving. Someone who's more funny. It depends on who you are, who you're talking to. Those are just mine. Yours could be totally different, but you can't have just one or two. It has to be a lot of things. And the closer you get to that perfect person, then the better. But you're not going to get a perfect person. But like I said, that's not what it's all about. It's not finding the perfect person. She doesn't exist. He doesn't exist. But the key is finding the perfect person for you. That's the key. Anyway, that concludes another episode of the X and Y Show, and I hope you enjoyed it. Now, keep in mind the X and Y Show is available on a wide variety of different outlets for your listening pleasure. I'm on Google Play. I'm on Stitcher. I'm on iTunes. I'm on TuneIn. And I'm on Spreaker as my main platform. I'm also on iHeartRadio. And I'm on Blueberry as well. So whatever you choose to listen to, be sure to check out the X and Y Show, and be sure to subscribe and follow me and let me know what you're feeling. Leave comments on the episodes as well. Let me know that you're listening to me. Let me know that you love me. I'm also on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. And I am on Tumblr as well. So be sure to reach out for me as well on my social media networks. You can see all of that on my website, which is www.thexyshow.com. www.thexyshow.com. You can find all of my social media and my listening platforms on my website, as well as the X and Y store. You can buy a t-shirt, coffee mugs, phone covers for the Android and iPhones as well. So be sure to check out the X and Y store. More stuff will be coming. There's also a contact form where you can leave a note for me and let me know that you love the show, or let me know that you don't like the show. I'm always willing to accept constructive criticism, so leave me a note. Tell me you love me. Send me a picture of you in your X and Y shirt, and I'll post it on the IG page for everyone to see that you are a true X and Y'er. So be sure to say hello. I love that as well. So anyway, that concludes another week of the X and Y Show, and I will see you not next week, but the week after. And I just want you all to remember, you cannot have love without X and Y. Later.
You've been listening to The X and Y Show with your host, Roosevelt Colbert, the place where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. Join us next time. You can now put your clothes back on. Or not.